The ancient Greeks coined the word daemon to refer to the genius of an individual, it says. I never knew this. It refers to the genius of an individual. It's believed that each of us has a demon or daemon. It's spelled Daemon. I don't know. And it is it is this helpful or benevolent spirit that helps us to nourish this genius. And then it says, if you could pinpoint yours, what would it be? But it's making me think, because like what nurtures me is my connection to source. But that's not something that was taught to me growing up in Christianity, because even though I wasn't Catholic, and I always thought Catholics had it way worse because you guys have to go to confession and do these like rituals, I still was always chasing the approval of like the male leadership or like pastors or Father God, right? So it's still like Christianity is all about trying to jump through hoops to connect to source. And that's why as Christians, or I don't know if it's why, but like as Christians, we colonized the world and like specifically targeted indigenous spiritual practices, which are all about like your own power and equal access to source, right? From my limited understanding, my very newly decolonizing mind. Yeah, it's just interesting because it all does tie together. And that's why I say 12-step is helpful, but the 12 steps they come from the Oxford group, which is Christian theology. So when you see the focus on powerlessness in NA to overcome addictions, you're coming from a place of lack, which is that same model. It's not about empowerment. It's not about your strength and power to overcome and change your life. And often you will see in these groups that same hierarchy where through social exclusion and through unequal access to emotional resources, certain people are poured into and others are not. So that, I don't know if you guys, I wish you could see what I see in my mind, because it's like I'm grasping for words trying to like paint these concepts. I don't know, but NA is great if it helps you, but you do have power. And the thing is, I try to share about this at a meeting because I have like dipping my toes in, but last time I went, it didn't go well because I was talking about being empowerment versus powerlessness. And then obviously this older white male shared afterwards, and it's like, that sounds like, I don't need nothing to do with power. Well, buddy, you have all the power in the room. That's why when you flinch or get uncomfortable, the atmosphere changes. You don't even have to say anything, but your anger controls this dynamic. So look at who is the most threatened when you tap into your power. For myself, and Tarot on Decks just said this a couple weeks ago, and it really made things start clicking for me. She said she was doing this and that, abusing her body, abusing her spirit, fighting other people. No one ever called her evil until she found her own power and started doing tarot readings and that. It's the same, like, I question things in the church. You can even question stuff, but as long as they can make you doubt yourself and stay in that group chasing after their validation, they won't really like call you crazy or like, I don't know, they will call, like, obviously they do make people feel crazy, but I'm just trying to say the main concern they have is when you finally say this, no, I'm allowed to access my power. You can't prevent me from creating, and you can't restrict my access to source. That's when they have the issue. And then when you start going around and letting other people know, well,